Expert coding challenge. Our first expert exercise ever. Question number 1. Divisible by previous digit. So we have a float number with decimals. So we want to strip the decimal part. So we want to just take the float number and check if each digit is divisible by the digit on its left. Please ignore the decimals, if any. Interestingly, the exercise doesn't talk whether we should round sail or floor, and that should be described, right? Because it just says ignore the decimals. Ignore the decimal means probably just keep that, right? Just keep it. Right? Okay, so then once we have that integer part, we're going to see if each digit is divisible by the previous one. What happened with the first one? For the first digit, please check whether is divisible or not by the last one. So we need to compare 7 and 2. It's a bit mind-blowing, right? Cool. First of all, argument, number. And then can I do it in one go? So can we do... yeah, let's try to do... First of all, the first thing, it's baby steps, right? The first thing we want to do is to get the integer part. How do we get the integer part? Well, correct. Obviously, we can convert it to a string, like Alex did. You remember, to get the last name of the driver or last first name. So we can do split, and then with a dot, and then take the first part. But because this is a number already, probably will be easy to do math.floor number. Right, so we already got the integer part. And now we want to iterate. Because we want to iterate, the first thing is to transform it to to an array. And to transform to an array, probably we should transform it to a string first. So here, we already have a string of 7, 3, 1, 2. But in reality, because we want to iterate, we want to convert it to an array. So how do we convert a string into an array? Split with an empty string, because I want to access each individual number, correct? And now this is the chicken. This is where we need to determine if each number is divisible by the previous one or not. So how do we transform an array into another array? Map, correct. You see how it becomes way more readable when you have multiple instructions here. So map. So I'm going to call this. That's interesting. I was tempted to call this num or something like that, but in reality, what type of data we got here? What type of data num is? Correct. So that's why I like to call that to reflect that's a string. Because otherwise, I could easily forget that's a string, and I could start doing calculations like modulus, dividing, blah, blah, blah. And because I forgot it's a string, I will miserably fail, right? So if the name of the variable reflects the nature of the data, especially in this case that we are converting a string to number, number to string, blah, blah, so that will help me as a reminder, right? So a string number, okay, right? So we're close. And then what? So here we want to see if the string number is divisible by the previous one. Because of that, we need the index, because we want to check against the previous one. So let's put the index here. And now we'll see in a minute what else do we need. But A. So I essentially want to return true or false, right? Depending on whether the number is divisible or not. So I'm going to add a ternary operator. We'll see if I regret or not in a minute. But return something, then true, else false. Yeah, I'm not convinced about that. But we'll go back in a minute. I'm preparing the structure, right? So now if I'm able to write a good condition here, I'll succeed. So what's the condition? So first of all, yeah, correct. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I don't want to do that. First of all, I want to see if we are on the if index is 0 or not. Because if index is 0, I need to compare against the last. If index is not 0, I want to compare against the previous one. Yeah, correct. So I'm going to change that because I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I'm going to change that. So I'm going to create a variable called prep digit. I mean, I haven't done that, so I'm doing. I may struggle a bit. I may fail, but with your help, we'll solve it. So prep digit, and then here I do a. If I have an index, it will be the previous, right? If not, it will be the last. But then now the question is, how do we get the previous digit? How do we do that? Index minus 1 of what? Yeah, index minus 1. Yeah, index minus 1. But of what? What is the array? You see the problem, right? We don't have the array. We could do of math.floor.string.string, but we don't. We can create a variable. So I mean, it could be okay to create a variable, save it, and then we can access the variable here. But in reality, because some of you have asked several questions, and I ask you, I need to offer you a good example to explain how to use that. So when we use map, for each, reduce, sort, all these things, apart from the value and the index, we have the array. Here you can see how useful the array is, because otherwise it could be a bit challenging to get a reference to the array. But now this array is literally the array that I'm mapping. Right? This is very nice, it's very sexy because I can do that. Right? So if I got an index, so that means that at least I'm on the second one, give me the previous one. And here, what do we put here? Array what? No. So this case is index 0, right? So if I got an index, that means 1, 2, 3, but on the first number, index is 0. So 0 evaluates to falsy, correct? Because it's falsy, I want to get the last one. How do I get the last element of an array? That thing, right? Like that? -1, thank you. Cool. So now, I'm close. Again, I'm going to rename that. I'm not going to call it prep digit. I'm going to call it prep string number. Because we're still working with the strings, right? And then I just have to check if the number, string number, is divisible by that one. To do that, I'm going to create another function, is divisible, that gets number A and number A by number, number by number. Does it make sense? So we want to say if a number is divisible by another number. And in reality, I'm going to send the strings because I'll have to convert them to numbers. Essentially, I want to have a specific method to encapsulate this logic. So then, the only thing I have to do is number modulus by str number equals 0. But in reality, these are strings, so I have to convert them to numbers, right? So how do we convert a string to a number? Correct. Right? Number, and I can clearly see that I'm going to get a big penalty because of the length of this line. So remember, you can add a parenthesis, right? Look at that. You see? And actually, because I want to change it a bit, we can do that. Remember we saw that on the intermediate? We negate it because if here we got 12 and here we got 2, the modulus will be 0, correct. 0 evaluates to what? Falsy, correct. But we want to see if it's divisible. So we have to invert the condition, right? You can put equal, equal, equal 0 if that helps. This is just how I prefer to do it. So now, because this is, I mean, it's not complicated, but at least I have this logic encapsulated. So now I can simply return is divisible str number and prep str number, and to avoid the penalty, of course you can do that, right? You can move the arguments to a new line, respecting the indentation. Something like that. What do you think? Will this work? Yeah, I mean, first of all, let's see if it works and then we can improve it a bit. It doesn't work. Cool. Why it doesn't work? It doesn't work. Look, true, 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 true. Oh, that's a bit exotic, right? Everything is truthy. I don't know why, to be honest, but let's try to figure out. So I think, so first of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in reality, the structure is correct. We have an array of the same elements as the numbers. That's good, but this method is wrong. There is something wrong here, and I don't know what. So str number, that's the number. Oh, what's that? All right, we want to pass two arguments. We don't want to divide them, right? That didn't make sense. Right, getting close. So the first one is correct. That was wrong here. False, true, true, true. Whoa.
Do you need to initialize the map? 2 divided by 0 gives you...
But yes, correct. Yeah, that's the problem, right? So here, look. Yeah, that's the problem. So the second one is, no, the second one is, so first one is correct. This one is correct. This one is correct. But once we evaluate 2, the 0 is the main issue, right? And probably same thing will happen here. So here we do modulus of 2 and 0. Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem. So what's the modulus of dividing 2 and 0?
Undefined.
That's to me that's confusing, right? Because technically speaking, you cannot divide by 0. So this is a bit strange. Let me try to do something because I don't really know that. So number 0. So I'm wondering whether the modulus of dividing, 2 and 0, I think that should be truthy, right? Because 2 and 0, I don't know what the modulus of dividing 2 and 0 should be, to be honest. Let's see what it returns. Look, I'm going to just let me just return the number. Let's see. This is going to fail, obviously. Look, 1, 3, 0. Oh, right. That's a bit confusing, right? So when you do the modulus of a 0, JavaScript returns nil. So then, yeah, that's a bit confusing. What I suggest to do is
If we left the equal 0 in,
yeah, okay, let's leave the equal 0, correct. So if we do that, and that will explain that in this case they are not equivalent, because that will return nil. Nil is not equal to 0. No, now it's correct. Now it's obviously correct, right? Because if that returns nil, nil is not equal to 0, so that returns true, correct? No, that returns false, and we expect it to return false, so that's the thing. So the expectation says that if the modulus of, so 2 is not divisible by 0. I'm not sure if this is fully correct or not, but this is what, look. So this is more obvious, right? So, well, because we just have one number here, but we expect 2 not to be divisible by 0. Does it make sense? Right? So that was the main complexity. Actually, I'm wondering, can we do that? No, okay, ignore that. Right. So let's keep it easy. Right? And if I were you, again, probably not now, but this is not that elegant. Even though probably I'm not going to get any penalty, but in reality, so for example, this is too long, right? So I'm going to get a new function called get pref str number. So I want to encapsulate this logic into a function. So I'll have to pass the index and the array, right? So again, try to have the functions, the smaller the better, right? So now we can do that, right? Index array. Will this work? No. I'm missing. What am I missing? Index.
You put yeah, the semicolon in the.
Oh yeah, true. Wrong semicolon, right? Thank you. Now it works, right? Cool. Okay, so let's have a look to what you did, and we're going to run out of time quickly. Yeah, this is a bit. It's complicated. It's complicated. And look, wrong indentation, Victor. So I'm going to skip it. You. Unnecessary empty lines. Wrong, right? So we shouldn't put empty lines. I know some developers, they like to put empty lines, but if you put empty lines, it's because you don't trust your code. It's like, I don't think this is readable, so I'm going to put some random empty lines, and that will help to understand the structure. Wrong. Wrong. If your function is very long, split it into several methods. It becomes way more readable. Right? Cool. Osman. So, yeah. Yeah. Right, Osman, and then Gray. So what we got here?
I just disappeared. I just want to see his question.
He just disappeared. Right, so Gray did. So you see, I like Gray's solution is shorter, so it's at least it's easier to follow. So digits. So look, he's map round number to string, so he got the array of digits, and then a for loop. So then if the number is divisible, he adds true. If not, he adds false.
I only did that for all of them apart from the first.
Apart from the first, correct. So then he has to process the first one individually. So dividing the first against the last. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a different approach. Cool. Question number 2. So question number 2. We took 20 minutes to solve this one, right? So question number 2, divide by next number. It's pretty similar, right? That's the same idea. That's the same idea. We got some differences. So in this particular case, we got a string instead of a number. I think that should be slightly easier. We don't have any function here, so function divide by next number. So a string number, again, to remember that this is not a number, so we probably have to convert it at some point. So I'm going to return same thing. We have something, we have to return something of the same size, so I'm going to convert it to an array. I'll do that all the time because I think we feel very comfortable working with arrays. So we got a string number dot split, right? So we got an array in the first example of 2 strings. So I'm going to map, and I don't know what I'll put inside of the map function. I'll leave it there for now. And once I got my result, I have an array of 2 strings. So I'm going to convert into a string, doing toString, and eventually, because I want a number, I want to surround everything with number. So now I can focus on the map function. I need to check if a number is divisible by the next one. So for now, here I got, actually I'm going to call it string numbers or string digits. And here I will put string digit. I need the index, and I'll probably need the string array as well. Right. So now we want to check if a number is divisible by the next one. And then corner cases. The last element must be returned as it is. Fine. If no data is provided, return 0. Fine. The result must be casted to a number. We've done that already.
We don't need to check, right? We just need to assign that index to the provided number and then round it. We're not checking, right? Because we're assigning. So in the first example,
Yeah.
is 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But so you're not checking, you're just doing it and then setting it to the index.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then rounding it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Check first.
We have we have to check the index definitely, because for the first index 0, that's fine. We divide by the next, but in here we cannot. There is nothing on the right, right?
So we just don't go all the way in the loop.
Yeah.
Just go to the -1.
Yeah, definitely. We can do return. Let's see if let's see the easy case first. If it's the last one, how do we know if we are on the last number of the array? Array.length minus 1. What?
Array index. So array open brackets.
Yeah.
Array.length minus.
I think this is overcomplicated, guys.
Index,
Now, listen. So we can do index equals a string array dot length minus 1. Alright? So this will give us the last element. So if in this case index 0, array dot length minus 1 is array dot length is 2, so minus 1 is 1. So is 0 equal to 1? No. Here is 1 equal to 1? Yes. So 3 is the last element of the array. So it says the last element, the last element must be returned as it is. Okay, so just let's return it. And then that's the complicated case. If this is not the last element, we want to divide the current number, the current digit, divided by the next one. But that's not enough, because we want to round the solution. In the first example, it's not going to affect. But on the second one, 4 divided by 3, we clearly have to round this, right? Let's do it. Oh, that's wrong, right? So that's a square bracket. Right. What do you think, guys? Will this work or not? Can you spot anything wrong? You have to join. That's correct. Thank you, Tom. I forgot to join, right? Because we have an array of strings. So that's wrong, right? We have an array of strings, so we don't have to convert it to string. We have to join it to have a single string, and then eventually it will be casted to a number. That's not correct yet, because remember, string digit, we have to convert everything into a number, right? Something like that. Would it work now? I don't know. Yes, it works. Any question? No? Cool. So let's see what you've done. So divisible by next number. So Victor, actually, I'll tell you something. For me, it's challenging to understand what everyone else has done, but that's a very valuable exercise, because it helps me to read others' code. I suggest you to do the same thing. Even if you understood, even if you found the right answer, please spend some time checking what your colleagues did. I think it's a very healthy exercise. But Victor, don't do that again, right? yeah. Yeah, so he's getting an array of strings, and then he's just dividing. So from the first to the last, and -1. So it's not. Where
The last one.
where are you adding the last one? Sorry.
Pardon?
So what happened with the?
Last, it doesn't run all the way to the last element, so we've got I+1. We'll grab the last element, but it won't run to the last element.
Correct. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, so you are changing all the values except the last one. The last one you leave it as it is. Okay, cool, yeah, that looks good. And it's a similar thing, but he's explicitly checking if it's the last element of the array. Then it just adds that value as it is. If not, it just do the calculation. So the main difference between you and Victor, no, that's pretty much the same thing. So the only difference is Victor is not modifying, is not touching the last element of the array, because we don't have to, right? We don't have to. So you says if I'm on the last one, then just add it as it is, right? So Victor is just ignoring, so he's doing one iteration less. But apart from that, they are very similar. Yeah. So yeah, they are pretty much the same thing. Osman is back. So I mean that's pretty much what they did, right? He likes to have a function to convert to numbers, but that's pretty much the same thing. Split, then compare. If that's the last one, it returns as it is. So even though that's the last one, that's the same as I did, I have some concerns about readability, right? Spaces, not sure if the naming conventions are the best ones, yeah, but apart from that, the solution is really good. Gray, so
That's unneeded, but on the clipboard from the previous question, so I used that as a template.
wow, so he rounds the number, so that's wrong, right? Why? What's that?
Yeah, I said it's not needed, but
It's not.
from the previous example.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
the clipboard, so I just left it in.
So you copy and paste it.
For that one, yeah. From
Yeah.
The previous example.
Will bring huge penalties for copy and paste, FYI.
Thanks.
Right, and then so Gray he's just iterating. Look, he's doing the same as Victor. So he's just ignoring the last element, and then he's just dividing the value, and then on the last, yeah, I think that was a bit unnecessary again, as Victor proved, because the last one we just want to respect it as it was, right? Cool. Anything, guys? Anything else regarding question number 2? Right, question number 3. Question number 3. Add div numbers in 2 arrays. So we have 2 arrays, and we want to get the unique numbers on each side, and then we want to add them all. I'm going to do something which is probably not the best thing. It's not the shortest version, but to me it helps to understand how it works. I guess that probably someone did some tricks to shorter the solution, which could be still fine, right? But yeah, let's try to understand the exercise first. So function add div, so we got array 1, array 2. So because we want to find all the numbers here that are not there and vice versa, so I'm going to create first of all a function called get unique numbers, array 1, array 2 for now. We'll think about semantics. So first of all, I want to return all the numbers here that are not there, right? So in that particular case, it should return what? No, wrong. 1, correct, because 1 is here, but it's not there, right? So let's do return. That should be relatively easy, right? We already have numbers, we have an array. We don't have to do any previous conversion. So array dot filter, I believe, right? So array1 dot filter. Correct, and we'll do includes inside, yes. So that's a number. So the only thing we have to do is return array2 dot includes number, and we should negate it, right? So if we return that, so what will this return on the first example? 2 and 3, correct. We don't want 2 and 3, right? We just want 1. So then let's call the method. So unique on array1. I'm going to rename the method for simplicity purposes. Right? So that gives me the unique numbers on array1, but it should work on the other way around, right? So number 4 should be included, but here it won't. It wouldn't be included, right? So what do we need to do?
Do it all the way around, so right.
Correct. We can call the same function again, but changing the numbers, right? Unique on array2. Oops. You see? So now we have 2 arrays. The first array has number 1. The second array has number 4. So now I want to concatenate the 2 arrays and add all the values. Spread, I like that. Let's use a spread. Return, look. You see? So that gives me an array of 1, 4. And based on that, we can do a classic reduce. Total value, total plus value. As simple as that, right? Does it make sense? Will this work? Remember to review especially the types, right? Strings, numbers. I mean, in that case, we're playing with, yeah. I'm a bit worried about these empty case, these corner cases, right? These exotic scenarios where we have an empty array. But, yeah, it should be okay. Should be okay because we are spreading, so that should be fine. Let's see. Whoa, right. Last case is wrong.
We don't have any matches.
Yes.
I mean, all of them are matches, so there's no unique.
Yes. Yes. So, in this particular case, our array is empty, right? Because it's empty, it will never run the reduce function because there is nothing to reduce, there is nothing on it, right? So we have 2 options. Either we assign this to a variable and then we check if I have something on it, return it, else return 0. We can do if else, or we can do a small trick. We can do that, right? So if we do that, boom. Why? Because even though the array is empty, we agree on that, and there is nothing to reduce, because there is nothing to reduce, if we provide a default value, that default value will return as the total, correct? Correct. Right? Any question? No? Cool, so I'm going to have a break, and now I'm going to call our friend Eugene to solve, well, no, sorry, before that, let's see what you've done, right? Let's see what you've done, sorry. Victor, empty spaces, wrong indentation, wrong, horrible indentation, look, what's that? Right, wrong. But apart from that, ignoring, I'm starting to ignoring these things, but if I ignore them, you use the same strategy, right?
Focus a lot more on that.
Please. So look, I will never hire you if you do that. Because because the thing is, you are better than, but you cannot demonstrate how good you are. Because this is chaos. It's like, this is going to break. No one will, no, don't do that. Please focus on the indentation, on styling, right? Cool. And then you. Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't get my solution. I copied and pasted this off Stack Overflow.
Right.
I looked for a unique function, and I literally just I don't get the -1 there.
You don't get it.
Okay.
Huge penalty for Eugene for multiple reasons, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
He went to Stack Overflow, penalty. He copied the solution, penalty. He doesn't know what he's doing, penalty. Right? Wrong, right? Also, I mean, the thing is,
It's the same.
even if you did that, so whoever wrote that on Stack Overflow, that's wrong. That's wrong. Why? Because we are doing the same thing twice. JavaScript is a functional programming language. Why? Because you can create functions, right, to reuse pieces of code, right? This is way more elegant because you do that weird thing once. So the thing is weird, but you do it twice, right? Don't do that. If you want to do that, at least create a function to encapsulate your logic.
What's O?
What's O?
It's just a local
What is that?
variable.
Oh, just O. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so index of is the classic way to check if an element belongs to an array, right? Index of will tell you the position of an element in an array. So if it's on the first element, if the element is on top of the array, index of will return 0, correct. If it's on the second position, it will return correct. But if it doesn't exist, it will return -1, correct. So that's the classic way. But apparently, some developers found this syntax a bit dodgy, and that's why it was recommended to introduce includes, which is more elegant because includes doesn't return a number, it returns a boolean. Sometimes we don't care if it's position 1 or 3, we care if it's there or not, right? So this is a bit more elegant. Right. Who's next? Osman, right? But yeah, you see, Osman, I like what he did. So he created a function. So I don't know what's that, but at least I don't have to read that twice. So he put it here, and you see that's the same thing I did. It's literally the same thing. Yeah. So merge. So okay, so he's taking the first one, and then he concatenates the second one. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then if he doesn't have anything, you see. So Osman, this is unnecessary. Even though that's correct, that could be replaced by easily adding (0) here. Cool? Yeah, apart from that, really good. And Gray, so you see the same thing, right? So Gray is doing the same thing twice. That's wrong. Please create a method to encapsulate your logic, right? The code will be just simpler and easier to read. And apart from that, yeah. So look, he's manually adding a 0 to make sure that the loop runs, right? Which is a bit hacky. So remember, you can add a (0) here, and you don't need to do that. Okay? Cool. So question number 4. I'm going to call Eugene to solve this question, which is about sort by modulus. So we have a number with lots of digits. So we want to display first the odd numbers and then the even numbers, sorted from the smallest to the biggest one. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, you.
So start by defining the function.
Mm-hmm.
You got 10 minutes.
Oh fudge! I don't know if I can do that in 10 minutes. That's dangerous. So we're gonna take in a number. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then I'm gonna pass it as a string so we can deal with it as an array because we love arrays. So let's take this string up, and then we're gonna split it because we like splitting. Okay, and then so now we've basically got this number as a string. So if we visualize it like this for now, I'll comment that out. Okay, so think about it that way, and now we've got individual things. So we want to iterate it. So let's, because we've got the equal amount of elements on either side. So let's use map. I never use a map, so this is going to be dangerous. So let's have a current value. Let's call it digit actually. So digit that we're interested in. Yeah. That's very good. So I didn't even think about that. So I completely don't even. So let's take that as that, and then return. I see better this way. So we got a digit. We got an array of digit strings, and we want to treat them as numbers now, but we still want to iterate for it. So I think the index would be useful, maybe. And so you got the digit strings, and I might need to pass them as a number. So let's do an if number number digit string. Alright, and we're going to compare it to if it's divisible by, so we're checking whether it's odd or even, and I'm going to treat this for, let's take the odd numbers first. So if it's divisible by 2, it shouldn't be even. So not equals to 0. Okay, that's fine. And if that is the case, let's push this into, we want to return this, so we need an array. So let's treat this array dot push digit str. Else it's odd. We kind of, okay, can we have 2 arrays in this map? That would be lovely, because that's what I need.
I really hope you know what you are doing. Because that's super weird, man. Super weird.
Okay, like I want 2 arrays. I want the arrays for odds, and I want the arrays for evens, and then I'm gonna concat.
So you're breaking the first principle of map, right? Map gets a number or something, and then something else. However, you are modifying the length of the array in the middle of the iteration.
Wait, what am I doing wrong? Sorry.
Well, I don't know. Map, look, array dot push. So you have an array, and then you are adding, putting the same numbers at the end of the array.
At the same. Okay, sorry, I still don't get what I'm doing wrong.
No. That probably will be maybe an infinite loop, right? Because you map, you add a new number, so you have to map again, and you will keep adding, so you get an infinite array of numbers.
Okay, wait. So this split ain't an array. Obviously, I just don't know I'm done wrong. Let me think. That's not the case, but so wait. Let's take that away for now, and so we're mapping.
I think that's wrong already.
Okay, so the map is the wrong thing.
Map is the wrong thing, definitely.
So we've got, from splitting, we've got an array of numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So that looks like exactly what's commented out, right?
Agreed,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we don't want to go through the whole thing.
Why not?
So map is an iterator, right?
Yeah, it is an iterator.
But I'm using it wrong.
I don't think it. You need any help?
Yeah, well, yeah. I do need help.
If I were you, or the way I would face that problem is I would use reduce.
Okay.
If you and you. What you thought? Okay. Yeah. That was a bit weird, right?
I don't know.
Right, 3 minutes, Hugh.
Okay. We've got accumulator,
Yeah.
car.
Yeah. Right.
Fudge.
Right.
Yeah.
And then let's think about what's the default. Let's think about the data model. Remember, the data model is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So how I will face the problem is I will create an object with two properties, something like odds and evens. So I will have a collection of odd numbers, and then I will have a collection of even numbers.
So do you want this to be the local object of reduce, or do we have an object that's global to this as well?
So first of all, again, the data model is wrong. I wouldn't put an empty object on it.
Okay.
Can you put two properties? Just create an object, please.
In here?
No. That's the default. That's the default accumulator.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do
The-
that. Default value of the accumulator.
After a turn, before the parentheses, after the comma, down.
Default value of the accumulator, Eugene.
Reduce.
What is the default value of the accumulator? Thank you. Let's put an object on it.
Oh, so do put an object.
Yes, but
Right.
instead of an empty object,
Yeah.
have two properties. The first call it something like odds or odd,
Okay.
and initialize it to an empty array. This is not an empty array.
Holy moly.
Right, comma, and then the same with even, right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Whoa.
want to do?
Yeah, you're gonna. Wow. Oh, this is how you do it. This is how you get two arrays. I wanted two arrays. I just didn't know how to.
That's the thing, right? But call it either odd and even or odds and evens. But keep consistency, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you know how to add each number to one collection or to the other.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so using the current value, if car divisible by 2 not equal to not equal to 0, odds dot push dot car. Else. Could have used a ternary, but it's too late now.
With 8 minutes for 2 questions.
Okay, continuing from where I left off.
Oh, that was still with odds and evens. No, with evens.
Okay, and then we return this object. Can I just press hit? Okay, so we got an object, and then we want to join them.
Now, first of all, you want to return the accumulator, right? Before you forget.
Okay, yep.
Right. Then what?
So that's fine. So return the accumulator, and then we want to join those objects. So we want
You wanna? I will sort them before joining, to be honest.
to say that. Say that again.
Sort.
Oh, fudge.
And to sort them, probably it would be easy to assign all this chunk of code to a variable instead of returning it on top.
Okay. Okay.
Create the variable.
To be sorted. Oh my god, this is horrendous.
Right. And then, fine. After all this mess, let's sort it, right?
Sorted. What am I doing? Why am I? Shoot.
First of all, let's sort odds and then let's sort evens.
So dot odds. So we've got an array.
So you probably you want to do equal and then sort it, right? So you want to just overwrite it.
Yeah. Dun. I actually don't know how to use this function, but I know it's dot sort, but I don't know what I'm calling it on.
To be sorted dot.
Correct?
Oh my god. oh god. That's why I just didn't know how to call it.
Dot Y for your odds.
Thanks guys. Teamwork.
Yeah. Can we just call sort on its own for speed? If you find it.
Would it work like that?
Or not? Maybe not.
So ascending order A minus B.
Yep. And then what?
Same for the evens.
Oh, okay. Wait, I've got two. Wait, that should be a. No, okay, fuck it. TV. Sorted. Dot evens equals all of this. Evens. B minus A. No, A minus B. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. And then I need to join them too.
Why you change the case of the variable?
To be sorted dot odds. The first one.
It's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
We sorted dot odds with capital doesn't exist. Why don't you keep it in lowercase all the time?
I don't know. So it can be read.
No.
Right at the bottom, so
Drop
you
down one line.
Right, to the right, to the right, more on the right, more on the right, still more on the right, still more on the right. You got nothing, wrong, 3 minutes, wrong, right, here.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the same for evens. It's gonna be a great video to watch. Everyone's shouting at you.
Come on, 3 minutes, you. What's next?
I
We
need
got
to
two
join it.
arrays.
I need to join it, but
What to join them?
I don't know how to join them.
How to join two arrays?
Oh wait, I do know how to join them. Okay, sorted. Holy crap. Dot odds. Dot concat
Okay.
to be sorted. This name was really bad. Return. Return. Return.
Ah! What's this not defined?
So in reduce, where you
Come
call
on, red.
odds dot
Yeah, there are
first.
two red variables.
Yeah.
Why? The variables are red.
So to call that correctly, would we use accumulator?
Of course. You're not using the accumulator and then reduce.
Up.
Up,
See the red?
wrong,
Red,
wrong,
red,
up.
Yeah. Put accum dot evens.
ACC.
Right.
That's it.
Ooh. And then, yeah.
It's gonna return an array. Honestly.
Oh my god, I mashed it, but oh wait.
Oh,
okay.
Quickly, come on.
Good. And make it a number, yes. No?
Yeah. And then make everything a number.
I think we could put the
Go back
concat.
to the browser.
That looks a bit cleaner.
Just click this.
Also!
Whoa.